Ladies and gentlemen, new this year in Yes's line, the Libre. And it is a really good board. It took a few things that we loved. Basically, I'm going to reference a lot of shit that's probably not important, but let's just start with what it is. It's a directional volume twin with a 5mm setback on side cut and a little more on board, and we'll show you later, with a good reference stance. And it's just got that nice balance. It's got that modern all mountain thing going for it. So basically they took the 2016 Yes Optimistic, which was basically evolved into the 2017 Yes Standard. Now the 2018 Yes Standard is different, and they kind of let the standard and the 2017 standard and the 2016 Optimistic live on in a low-cost solution, Libre, that also has some similarities to the Yes Typo, which has a similar setback as well, but the Typo has the underbite technology. This just has the standard side cut of the 17 standard and the 16 Optimistic. So you can see the directional volume twin thing is really cool, and this is a great choice for anybody who's looking to get a board that they want to learn on and progress on and keep progressing on. You don't have to just trade this up immediately. You'll find that when you do, yeah, there might be some differences here and there, but all in all, this is a board you can take from being a beginner to being an expert and still have a really good time on. If you're, if you're short of cash, this is an excellent choice for that. So you've got the, the nose and the tail are the same width. The side cuts, almost a true twin or true twin side cut. So when centered on board, when centered on side cut, you're riding it just like, almost like a true twin on effective edge. Now, the nose has a little more volume than the tail. You can see after the same width here and here, these are the same width, just the tails just got a little less volume. It just kind of tapers off a little quicker. The nose doesn't quite do that. It goes a little more blunt, so you get a little more directional float. And I've ridden the Optimistic and the Standard in pretty deep powder, and I was really impressed by it. This has less setback, so it's not going to float as well, but it's really close, especially for this price point. I think you got an extruded base. It's just clear with graphics underneath, so it's nice and smooth. And let me tell you, you might get onto forums and just kind of start reading about centered versus extruded, blah, 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 but here's the thing. As a beginner rider, you're probably not going to wax a shit ton. So if you don't wax a ton, extruded bases do better in that middle ground. If you have a centered base and you don't wax it a lot, it actually gets slower than an extruded base, from what I've seen. And then if you have a a centered base and you wax it every day, yeah, it's going to be way faster than this. But there's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to base technology. So don't believe all the hype. Now let's take a look at this camber profile. It's really fun. It's got just a nice bit of camber underfoot. It's not a lot, and then a mellow rocker after. So the camber kind of goes a little bit past the bindings, and then it goes to a mellow rocker, and it really helps in terms of giving you float, giving you that camber feel, but not that catch of camber. Compared to hybrid rocker, this is a hybrid camber board, and compared to hybrid rockers go like this, one footing and flat basing. So if you're going down a long cat track or you're one footing off a chair, you're going to find that this doesn't do this. It tracks like a camber board. It just doesn't catch like one because the tip and tail are off the ground, and that's pretty cool. Let's get to the reference stance. This is a 22-inch reference stance. This is a 54. I wish we would have ridden a 58, because that would have been perfect for us. It's just about right. And the reference stance kind of goes up. It goes from 21 at the lowest size kind of all the way up, I think, into 23.5. And I like the reference stancing this year compared to last year for the average rider. For me, I love the 23, but for most, I think it will be a better fit for you in terms of width. So let's just say, all the way back at 22, you're setting up at just about 20 inches, on the back insert, if you want to set it all the way back. And you're looking at just about 18. Maybe just a little bit more than 18, but you're looking at about 2 inches. So you can get a little bit back and a little surfy. I would really like to see more setback. I'd love to see a 20 mil setback on side cut because it's easier to center and easier to ride switch than a 5 mil. I'd also like to see 6 inserts instead of just 5. See, 2, 4, 5. I'd like to see a 6th, either here or here. I'd like to see 6 inserts. I just think that's gives you a much better stance range, and it helps a lot of different riders. And if there was an extra setback, that'd be even better for me. Fine, 5. Those are my 2 complaints. I'd like to see a little more setback and a little more, one more set of inserts, just the standard 6x2 per binding. But other than that, I mean, you've got a great board here. Really, if you're going to see some hard snow, go with the Typo and pay that extra money to go with the more expensive Typo. But if you're going to mainly ride in kind of like medium, bordering on hard snow, it can handle hard snow well, but the Typo can handle hard to icy snow. So if you're going to see that kind of snow, you want to go Typo. But if you're looking at soft, good snow with the occasional firm day, then the Libre is an amazing choice. And it's not just like where the Typo is kind of like, sometimes that underbite technology can be a little weird. Sometimes I found it to catch where I think it might not normally catch, but it's such an anomaly, I can't figure out if it's really the board or me. Where this, I just feel, is just a really solid, very recommendable ride for anybody who's looking to get, looking to do everything, looking to ride a little bit of park, looking to ride the mountain, looking to butter, looking to maybe try pipe, looking to try hit some kickers, maybe even a jib or two. It's got a very similar flex to the Typo and Basic, so you can kind of get out there and do it. So you can do it all with this. Does nothing great, but everything well, and that's really all you can ask for an all-mountain board. And it leans a little more on the all-mountain freestyle side, but this directional volume twin does have a little more float in powder than like if you're comparing this to a true twin. And you could get the same setback on board. This is going to float better. That tail's going to sink a little more, and that nose is going to float a little more. So there you have it.